on their way to the roar of the crowd. A memorable Breeders' Cup Classic. It's a race for the ages.
Two guys in a classic are back. Bram Weinstein, Joe Kristufek. Guess who else is back? American Pharoah. Time for his victory lap in Monmouth this weekend, where suddenly he has some competition because they splashed the pot down there. So it turned what was going to be a wild weekend of racing into a major star power moment at Monmouth and kind of shook down the field at the Jim Dandy in Saratoga, which is where I want to start because it features Frosted, even though there's only 5 horses left. You like Frosted?
Yeah, well, you know what, Bram? I think Frosted might be the second best classic contender moving forward in training right now. And although the pace might be against him, I just think he's simply too good for this field, although Texas Red continues to move forward in his career, and he may be a huge factor moving forward.
So Upstart and Competitive Edge were the ones that jumped the midnight train. They went down to Monmouth. They're playing for second place down there. I liked Texas Red the whole time, even when the field was larger. I wanted a price with him, which is where I'm putting my money. You gave me 20 bucks to bet. I'm betting on Texas Red to win.
Yeah, and I'm just going to bet a cold exacta Frosted over Texas Red. The only other horse I think has a chance to be a factor is Japan, who's a little bit progressive. He's got speed. There's not a lot of speed in this race. He could be a factor.
You know, I had to ask you this because I had problems with figuring out what to do here. Do I bet Texas Red to win, or do I bet him over all of them in a trifecta? What would pay more?
I would say it's probably 3 times your money either way. So if you get Texas Red and Frosted's not in the top 3, then it's going to pay well. If Frosted runs second, you'd be better off with your win bet.
Yeah, you know, so it's interesting. We'll see what happens this weekend. That's where my money is. I'm not putting my money on the Haskell because American Pharoah ruins any potential payout, and I assume we both feel like he's going to show up and be himself and probably win that race. What are your expectations for seeing him this weekend?
First Triple Crown winner in 37 years. He did it emphatically at the Belmont. He's 1-5 in the morning line for the Haskell Bram. You don't see that very often. I guess the big question for sports bettors would be, what would the over and under on number of lengths he will win by be? Verrazano did it by 9.5 lengths a couple of years ago. Over or under Verrazano's number?
He's going to pay $2.03 to my $2, which is why I'm not betting on this particular race and putting my money elsewhere. As for Upstart and Competitive Edge, who made this decision to go basically run for better money for second place, couldn't I argue they had a better shot to win the race up at Saratoga, and that would have been the right decision for them instead of what they did here?
Yeah, I think money talks, like you said, and it's interesting. Competitive Edge, good speed. He was undefeated going into his last start at Belmont, and he absolutely thrown a clunker. Don't know what to expect from him. And Upstart was good in Florida all year, and he was terrible in the Kentucky Derby, so we don't know what to expect from him either. We do know what to expect, I think, from American Pharoah.
Yeah, I think so too. And for my long shot, it's Keen Ice. I think that's a great price. 12-1 right now, as at the time of this taping. We'll see what it is at the post. But 12-1 when he was among the best of the rest at Belmont, I like that number here.
I'll tell you this, Bram, there is a ton of speed in the Haskell. American Pharoah, I don't think is going to be able to go to the lead like he had done in the Preakness and the Belmont and go wire to wire. I think he's going to have to sit off some other horses, which could set the table for a horse like Keen Ice to pick up some major pieces.
As for our classic top 10, of course, American Pharoah's #1 until he proves anyone wrong in that regard. We did have some news, though, this week. Firing Line, California Chrome are out, which means they're out of the top 10. They're not going to race again this year. What do the changes look like to you?
Well, yeah, and you know what? It's been more than 90 days since we've seen Shared Belief. He is walking now. Still a huge question mark over his head. And Bram, as you look at our top 10, 5 of these horses are in the Whitney next Saturday. We're fans this week with Frosted and American Pharoah. We're going to be gamblers in the Whitney next week, buddy.
That is next week, and I'll be ready for it when I get my winnings off of Texas Red, whatever it ends up paying. Hopefully I'll stay at 7-2. That's next week. This week, it's the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series. Win and you're in. Sunday, August 2nd. American Pharoah is back. Haskell Invitational from Monmouth, NBC, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We like royalty, so good luck to American Pharoah. I would like to see him go unscathed throughout the rest of the season and get to the Breeders' Cup Classic just for the sake of the sport. And I also like the other royalty. Free Tom Brady. For God's sake, free Tom Brady.
And for the record, I'll take under 9.5 winning margin. American Pharoah and the Haskell go under.
See you next week.
Field sent on their way to the roar of the crowd. What a memorable Breeders' Cup Classic. It's a race for